This is the One Piece King here today. Um, so I know with the last one I was talking about with the game development and everything, like basically how it's been slow or something, or basically more of a balance of like they're trying to work on it, but at the same time they kinda can't. Um, but actually with this one I actually want to talk about Pirate Warriors 4 because I went and played it yesterday, like last night in fact. Um there was actually something interesting that I did see on on YouTube here. I was kind of scrolling around and everything. And usually though, like of course if you have a PC, like if you play Pirate Warriors 4 on the PC, there's kind of a way how you can get mods where you can play as the NPCs like Bellamy, yeah, like Bellamy, Peril Sparrow, um like the other Baroque Works agents that were never playable at all. Like none of them ever were. But something like that really and everything. I actually noticed in this video though, I'm trying to remember the name of the YouTuber and everything, but they did post Pirate Warriors 4 mods and everything of the NPC characters. And honestly, I'm actually surprised that these were never playable characters because it seems like they have a full-on moveset, to have for them to to become playable characters and everything. They even have a full power mode and stuff. Like they have, they even go by the type modes and everything too. They're not just like, they're not like all power types together. No, they actually have different types and everything. I believe Sparrow was a technique type and everything, which fits for him because the dude has the lick fruit and everything. Or I mean that sounds weird to say, like that's the name of his fruit and everything. It's called the lick fruit and everything. But basically, I think people would want to call it the candy fruit because he manipulates candy with it and everything. He doesn't become it and everything. That's more of Gaspard, I believe is his name from the Dead End Island Adventure. In which case that guy's a Logia though, but that is more of like syrup or something. I believe it's like I know Tekking, shout out to him. I know Tekking was talking about Gaspard in his video one time when he was talking about Logias. I believe it was yesterday or the other day. He did basically say like with Gaspard it was more like a corn syrups like sort of thing. And I'm like, it's like yeah, but they call it candy. I'm more looking at it like not really much of corn syrup. I'm more looking at it like some candies can kind of have a bit of a liquid state and everything, and some of them can also become, like very durable as well, like very solid, I guess I should say. That's a better term, very solid. Um, but yeah. But basically though, with Sparrow, as I noticed in his moveset, it seems like he has like a lot of really good moveset or like really good moves to use and everything as a playable character wise and everything. He has so many moves to use and it makes me question why they didn't even make Sparrow playable. That would have been besides Smoothie and Cracker coming, of course, to Pirate Warriors 4, it makes me question why they didn't make Sparrow a playable character because, again, like, I mean, I fought the dude on the game so many times and stuff. I've seen what moves he could do. He can do a lot of moves and everything. It's crazy. But, like, that's really the point, though, and everything, is that Bandai is not really thinking, like, they're not really thinking, like, yeah, maybe we could do a little bit more development on these characters and release them as also some type of free DLC and everything, like making it to where some of these NPCs can now be playable characters. Of course, basically talk about the main ones, like I said, with Sparrow and a few others. Um, yeah, we could definitely get them as playable characters, most definitely, and everything. Drake, I know everyone's been wanting Drake and everything. I've even been wanting Drake as well, cause that'd be another supernova to add on the list and everything. I think even by categories and stuff because that they I'm so surprised that they actually didn't go and just kind of go and put them in the typings basically meaning like the power types, the sky types, the speed types, and the technical types. Like they didn't put those like all separately and everything. Like basically where they had all the types had their own group basically, and you just had all these selected characters on there. Like no. Like it's still the same kind of selection that has been going on for all for all three four of the games basically. In which that's good and everything. If we were to get more characters though and everything, say probably more commanders of the Big Mom crew, most definitely I can see the Big Mom crew more getting their own slot basically, like their own character selection slot where it says the Big Mom Pirates, and of course Big Mom would be in there, kind of Curry would obviously be in there as well. But Smoothie and Cracker would also fit in that slot as well. They would fit in there and everything. But I also think Parasparrow might make it in as well. Due to the fact that, again, like I said, his moveset, there's so much that he could do with the candy fruit. I just don't understand why they didn't think, like, we could develop him a little bit more, release him, and then there you go. Um, but I guess, like, also talking about other characters as well that I noticed and everything, Bellamy. Now, we first got to have Bellamy's player model in Pirate Warriors 3 in the last game. Like it seemed like Bellamy could have been a playable character. It sort of looked like he could have been in Pirate Warriors 3. I mean, that's what I'm still feeling on that, but of course the time's already passed and we're already on, the new gen. We're already in the new generation of Pirate Warriors. We're already in the fourth game already. 3 is cool, but it's like it doesn't matter much anymore. Like nobody is gonna talk about it too much anymore. Like they'll still probably make the comparisons a little bit, but no one's gonna really talk about Pirate Warriors 3 that much. I mean, if you still do, that's okay. I'm not saying that you don't like. I'm not saying that you don't have to talk about it and stuff. Like no, you can. It's just I don't see a lot of people talking about Pirate Warriors 3 too much. It's like maybe some, but not a whole lot. But with his counterpart, in 4, um, again, it's given me that vibe for Bellamy that he could have been a playable character in the game because they gave him even a more moveset and stuff. And I believe Bellamy was also a speed type, I believe, which fits for, his fruit and everything. The spring fruit that he has and stuff. He creates, he basically creates, like, well, basically he is a human spring man and everything, or a human spring, in which he can bounce all over the place and everything. He can, bounce off the walls with his legs, um, or he can even go and basically kind of pull a Luffy with the con gun, basically the con gun move. He can go and like he can go and retract his arm back and stuff. His arm would be springs and stuff. Yeah, his arm would turn into springs, but his fist would kind of like move back like this and then deliver the punch that way. Um, which of course he does have a move for that. It's called a spring death knock, and that was also incorporated into the game as well. So yeah, it makes me question on why Bellamy just never had like his like never was a playable character at all and everything. Like he's got the moves now, and he's even got a like an awakening type himself. It's just I don't understand why Bandai didn't think to be like, you know what? Yeah, some of these NPCs it looks like we worked a bit, too much for them, or like basically give them, too much stuff to the point where yeah, we could have made them playable characters. I want to say there's a possibility they are going to be playable characters, like, every single NPC. Well, the big majority ones, not like, your pirate commanders or your giant marine commanders or your marine commanders or whatever. Like, no, not the riffraffs, okay? Not the riffraffs. I'm talking legit, like, the big bosses, basically, indicating like Parasparrow from Big Mom's crew, Jack and Drake from the Kaido crew. Um, we could be getting Bellamy, Diamante, and Pika from the Dofi crew. Um, we could be getting Sengoku and Kobe and Sentomaru. I mean, I know a lot of you probably might look at me and be like, how could you make Sentomaru a playable character and everything? Like, yeah, he's got the little, he's got like the little, I wouldn't say martial arts really, but it's like, he's got the fighting style in which he does a lot of like, pushing moves and stuff. Like, it can really do some type of damage right there and stuff. Yeah, like, there's that and stuff, like apparently Sentamaru, I would say is really good with the armament and everything, which he is. But I think as a little side thing though, as a little side thing that he can do, is basically do like summoning supports of the pacifistas because he's in charge of that. He's part of the scientific unit or the science unit. Um in which basically the pacifistas were led under his care as well and everything. We're not sure what the other members of the science unit are, like the science guard unit, but we know Sentamaru is definitely one of them. But yeah, Sentamaru is like in charge of keeping, the pacifistas all with him and everything. Like all these Kuma clones just walking around. Um, but most definitely though, we could definitely see like we could see him doing like a lot of moves and everything. Could be also creative as well because we haven't really seen Sentomaru really fight. Like we've seen him show off a little bit of action and stuff, like from Sabaody. Yeah, it was Sabaody and the War. I believe we did see a bit of it in the War, I believe, but Sabaody most definitely we did see him show off some action right there, but when it came to the time skip when we saw him again, it was more like he was more of just calling the pacifistas and stuff. But of course he also has the axe weapon, the double bladed axe weapon with him. I think that's new. I don't think I've yeah, it might be new or maybe he's had it before. But he most definitely used it in the time skip, so maybe for the time skip, his moveset would be different. Because now he's got, the double bladed axe weapon with him and stuff. He brings it along with him and he became I think he became like a vice admiral, I believe, in the 2 year time skip. I believe he did. Um yeah. But Sensamaru definitely could just have summoning support to the pacifistas. I don't know if the pacifista would even be a playable character. I'm not sure. Because Kuma is most definitely gonna be coming back. I could definitely see Kuma coming back. Kuma's gonna come back. He's gonna be way more powerful than what he was before and everything. I know I said way before I would want Kuma to come back and everything in Part Warriors 4 if they were ever going to be returning characters. Um, and it seems like the case, I even did see I did see the player model version, not from Sergio, but it was also somebody that also looked through the files and everything, and there actually was the player model files for Kuma for Pirate Warriors 4. But now that raises the question: is this moveset gonna be the same, or are they gonna up it a little bit to where like Kuma can do a lot more than what he could do before? Because I can imagine Kuma would be a power type because of the fact that his fruit actually does contain a lot of power. But not only that, but also for the fact that he's a human tank. Okay, Kuma is a human tank. That dude can do a whole lot more and everything. I'm pretty sure they're gonna make him even more broken. If they nerf him though in Pirate Warriors 4, that's gonna be the hugest letdown right there because Whitebeard wasn't, I mean, I gotta, really test Whitebeard a lot more and everything to see if they nerfed him and everything, but I mean, even though he's not fully maxed out yet and everything, whenever I went to go and test him out the first time, um, yeah, like Whitebeard isn't really nerfed and everything. I think I just need to raise up his stats and everything, like raising up the levels for him in Pirate Warriors 4. And whenever I do, I'm pretty sure Whitebeard is not going to be messed with and everything. Whitebeard is just going to be, that powerful. And, like, he's going to be really broken and everything. He was already broken in Pirate Warriors 3. He was no joke and stuff. He really just, wow. But Pirate Warriors 4 Whitebeard, I'm not sure if they nerfed him. I don't know. Fujitora, I think I did hear some people saying they did nerf him a little bit, but I don't know because I haven't tested that yet. But if I do, Yeah, if I do and play as I'm on harder difficulties and stuff, if they didn't nerf, yeah, if they didn't nerf Fujitora, I may have to tell those people that think that they nerfed him. I would tell them like, no. In fact, I think they made him better, like way better than before. But if I did find out whenever I do test him, if I do find out they did nerf Fujitora, I am gonna basically be upset. I'm gonna be like, no, it's like he had the most powerful move and everything. Like he had some really good, moves as well and everything. Like he had really good moves. But of course, there's the one favorite move everyone loves to spam with, Fujitora. And if you play on the like the PlayStation, the PS4 or PS3 version of Pirate Warriors 3, um, the R1 button, holding that down and stuff, to the point where, yeah, like holding that down to the point where you can summon like this giant meteor. One single meteor, yeah, like one single meteor and everything will definitely go and just have, yeah, one single meteor will definitely just have taken down like all territories just like that, or even boss fights. I think it helps with boss fights too and everything. Like if you get a good distance from the boss and everything, and if they're not like a far range, like a long range type of attacker like Usopp or Jinbei or Hody, Fujitora definitely could just be like, yeep, and just there you go, send a meteorite down, and then like there you go, it's over. I love playing as Fujitora in Pirate Warriors 3. He is actually one of my favorite characters to play as, like the best. Um, but as for Pirate Warriors 4 though, I'm not exactly sure if they nerfed him or not. I'm gonna have to actually test that maybe today, maybe tomorrow, and whenever I do, I really hope they don't nerf Fuji because, like I said, if they did, I'd be really upset because Fujitora is an admiral. Admirals are no joke. Like they should be really powerful. They should really be powerful. But if they didn't and they made him a lot better, I'm actually gonna love Fujitora even more. Um, but yeah, but one thing, for the NPCs, one thing that I did notice whenever I was scrolling through the characters and everything, yeah, like the character bios and stuff, and this even goes like, or the character models, I should say, because you can actually go and look through all the ones that currently are in game and stuff, and the ones I went looking through were the CP9, and it was yeah, the ones I went looking through of the CP9, and it was Jabra and Kaku, and it actually labels them in brackets. It labels them as Beast. It labels them as Beast, and so it makes me question, like, wait a minute. It labels you as Beast. That means there's a human form, Like, that means there's a human form and stuff. So, it makes me question, like, we are possibly gonna get, like, we're possibly gonna be getting Jabra and Kaku in their human forms in the game. Like, we're finally gonna get that for the first time. Because that really would raise the question, why would they just leave that in brackets right there? Like, why would they just go and do that when, way before in the other games that didn't really matter before, but now in the fourth game they just finally do it? Like, is that trying to tell us something? Like, are we gonna get human forms of Jabra and Kaku for the first time? Because if we do, I would give them, like, I would give Bandai, and Koei, like, some claps for that and everything. I'd be like, thank you. Like, could we have them as playable characters too? Because that would be fitting the dynamic of this, of the CP9, where, Lucci wouldn't be by himself, but we would also get, well, I mean, we should also get Bluno as well. But, Kaku and Jabra and everything, they're also zone users as well, and, they can basically do what Lucci can do, kind of go in and out of, their forms there. So, I'm kind of just like, could we, yeah, could we, like, get, Jabra and, Kaku in their forms? Because if we could, that'd be really great and everything. Only because of the fact of, like I said, in brackets, it labels them as Beast. But I also went to go and check the ones that also do have those type of forms and everything, like Drake and Jack, if they ever had something like that. But Funny thing of it is though is that they already have their human, model. Like they already have their human forms, like the player models already in the in the game. Technically, it's not, like their human forms aren't on the battlefield and everything because Drake already turns into the Allosaurus and Jack is already in the mammoth form. And of course Sengoku in the Buddha form. But in that instance, though, you could tell that maybe with that we might get the most playable characters and stuff because of the fact that they can go, like, it seems like they can go in and out of the form. It's just NPCs wise, they're stuck as that form. Like they're stuck. Like Drake is stuck in the Allosaurus form. Like he's stuck like that. Jack is stuck in the mammoth form, and Sengoku is just stuck in the in the Buddha form. Like he's stuck. But if we had the most playable characters, I feel like we could switch in and out of that and everything. It'd be basically like pulling Lucci and Chopper, which I find would be interesting though because basically like yeah. Um, but yeah, I think basically with the NPCs, like I said, we should basically be getting, some playable ones and everything, or at least all of the NPCs playable, like the big major ones to be playable characters, so that would like add on more to the list because Bandai did say that, we like the Pirate Warriors 4 player playable characters list would actually be the largest one ever in the series. So yeah, I'm imagining like they'll add more characters and stuff like the 9 DLC that are coming. But I'm also feeling that the NPCs like they're probably gonna look at it too and basically think to themselves like, yeah, we did give them a bit too much credit. We did. It's like we gave them too much, like moves and stuff to work with, so just release them. Like at this point, they're just gonna be like, just release the characters, man. Like, that we're calling it more of a free DLC and everything. All your NPC characters and everything will finally be playable characters for once. So here you go. It's like, really? It's like, thank you. It's like, finally, we get to play as these characters, you know? Because to me, it feels like all they have to do is just give, like, give little tweaks and everything. Because it feels like these characters have so many moves to work with, and it's like, just giving them little tweaks basically will kind of just up it a little bit and everything. Basically completing them, and I think whenever that happens, yeah, like every NPC will be playable characters and everything. The dream, yeah, like the dream that everybody wishes will finally come true. Like for every single Pirate Warriors game, we've always been wanting to be like, playing as the NPC characters because it feels like, we just want to know the experience. Because for me, I've always been curious with the punk hazard characters Virgo and Monet. I've been curious as wanting to play as those characters in Pirate Warriors 3, but of course they were NPCs, they were not going to be playable characters, and I kind of hope they would have been. But technically in Pirate Warriors 3, their DLC wasn't even playable characters at all. It was more of costume packs, more missions, not related to the story of any way, no. It was actually like the dream log and the nightmare log. Like you would get more missions from there and stuff. And to me, I'm just like, it's like why would you do that? That's bad. Like that's a bad idea. Like no, you should have made it to where like all the NPCs should have been playable characters. That would have been great. Um, but yeah though. But yeah, though, it'd be a really nice idea if they did that, though. It'd be a real nice idea if they made it to where all the NPCs were playable. Of course, if we were to ever get, like, new arcs or something because DLC characters are coming, like, maybe, like, more added on to to the arc stories and stuff, like I said with the Cracker one, with the Cracker fight, we'd finally get to see it and everything. Most likely we'd even get to see Tank Man in a cutscene for the first time. I actually would love to see that. I would love to see Gear Force Tank Man, the full version, just taking out Cracker in the one hit like he does in the series. Like I would want that so much. I'd be like, yes. It's like let's go. But we'll just have to see whenever that gets released out and everything. I hope they incorporate that in there because it like to me it seems like Bandai and Koei are putting their heads together for this game, and they're actually making it legit. Like it's the actual anime and stuff. Like yeah, some arcs were a bit off and everything. You know, like Whole Cake was a bit off and stuff, but I'm pretty sure with the characters they add in and everything, with Smoothie, Judge, and Cracker, I think Whole Cake is gonna get fixed a little bit and everything. Like they're actually gonna make it correct, and I'm actually gonna be happy about that if they do that. I'm gonna be like, yes. It's like let's go, let's go. Um, like if they do that, I am gonna be happy though. But Marineford as well. I mean, Marineford, it was like, they knew what they were doing and everything. Like, they knew what they were doing with Marineford, so not really having any complaints with Marineford that much. Uh, the only thing I ever had, the only thing I ever had the complaints of was the fact of, you have to fight Sengoku. And I understand why they did that. It was basically to create, a new boss fight, like a new big boss battle that was Sengoku. But like the thing of it is that whenever you go and play on treasure log missions and everything, Sengoku really like rarely shows up in the missions. So that's gonna be real difficult to kind of be like, like it's gonna be really difficult to be like, should they really have done that? Really, like, should they really have done that with Sengoku? Really, you know? I mean, it would have made more sense if I think I mentioned this before, but it would have made more sense if it was like Blackbeard. Yeah, like if it was like Blackbeard and Sengoku in the Buddha form and stuff, like if they were fighting. Of course, the game would also give you a hint like, yeah, those like if you get near those two, you're probably gonna be beaten up really bad. You should stay away. You should run. Like, get to the safe area and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna run. Um, yeah, like if there was something like that incorporated for Marineford and everything, I would have been okay with that. I would have been like, there you go. That's a way how to incorporate Sengoku and everything. Like that's how you do it. Don't try to go and incorporate like, Luffy versus Sengoku to be a all, brawl out fight because they never did do that. They never really did have an all brawls out fight. They never did. It was more of, Luffy was protecting Ace on the scaffold and that's pretty much it, like that was pretty much it, nothing else. But yeah, but hopefully though, if we ever do get that, like if we ever do get that wish right there where we do get the NPCs playable in Pw4 though, like every single one, um that would make everyone happy because that just show like basically that would show that Bandai's actually paying attention for once, and it's like, yeah, yeah, it's like we're gonna do justice for this game this time. Like we're actually gonna listen. But cool thing is though is that they did a survey though. Like basically, yeah, they had out a survey and I believe they only shouted it out on Twitter. I don't know if it's on Instagram as well or any other social media out there if you follow Bandai Namco, on their social media. But they did, but they did basically send out a survey and everything for Pirate Warriors 4. What they like basically of how we like the game and what like what more could we do with this game. Um, and basically, I read some comments of what people were saying. They wanted costumes corrected and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's a big yes. That is a big yes. Everyone, you're giving the right answers. You're giving the right answers. I did take the survey and everything. I told them the game's good, but they still could use a little bit more work with it and everything. Like maybe correct a few things in the story. Of course, correcting costumes. I'm with that train as well. Um, but like if I also had to add something, also making NPCs playable definitely would have been on my list to say to them already. I would have already told them that too. Um, if I had to say anything else though, like specifically, if they could add anything else in there or something, of course, probably would say like a couple more things, like basically, add more characters in, like, even more characters into the story, example would be like with the Baroque Works agents, since there's only three of them. Um, I would love to see more of them instead of just the three. I would be like, can we please get more? Like can we please get yeah, like can we please get like Miss Doublefinger, Miss Merry Christmas, or I guess as the four kids call her, Miss Groundhog Day, which I prefer Miss Merry Christmas. That's the original. I like that one better. Mr. Four, with Lasso as well, because that'd be a like a really great new dynamic right there is with Mr. Four and everything, and Lasso, because Lasso would be like his little companion if you ever played if we would ever play as a character and stuff, like, yeah, Lasso would be like the little companion traveling with us. Um, but it would be Miss Doublefinger, Miss Merry Christmas, Mr. Four, and I believe that would be all of them and everything. Yeah, I think that would be all of them and stuff. Because if we were to get the other ones, that'd be more of like a previous arcs, like Whiskey Peak and Little Garden, really. Which Mr. Five, Miss Valentine, and Mr. Nine and Miss Monday. Yeah, that'd be more focusing on Whiskey Peak and Little Garden. Although I would love, new maps like that. I would love that very much, but that's hard to really say if we would get those and everything. But who knows? Maybe we might get that. Probably. I don't know. Um. But anywho, though, I guess this will be the end of the video right here. I just really wanted to go in, talk about my thoughts about, basically of what I think Bandai should do and everything, like taking requests from, the people here and everything, the public, because most likely that will actually help the game a lot better. Because I already love how the game is very open and everything. It does feel like it is an open world kind of game. You're actually exploring around the maps and everything. The maps are very huge. And it's just it feels very awesome. It feels very nice. So I hope that they go through with that and everything. I hope they do. Because if they don't, then that just shows that they don't care and they're basically gonna just abandon that project after the first DLC is released. Like after the first nine characters are released, they're probably just gonna say we're done with this game and that's it. But no, if they actually went and listened, to their fans and everything, like to the fans that love this game, the game probably would continue for maybe about another year, and basically that would probably be like the best One Piece game of the year. I would say so. I would say One Piece Pirate Warriors 4 would be the best game of the year, if they did actually listen to their fans of what they wanted, and just basically giving them exactly what they want and everything, because that would mean they would get more money, more business, for Pirate Warriors 4 especially, and yeah, they would actually be like going somewhere with this. So yeah, um, I just really hope that they do that and everything, and not just completely ignore everyone's request and just do their own thing, because I think that's completely not a good idea. That'd make a business fall. But yeah, this will be the end of the video right here and everything. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Leave a like on the video. And comment down below of your thoughts of, like, the NPCs. Like, would you want every NPC playable, or would you want like a selected few playable? Because like, you never know and everything. Like, I never know if it's just some of you just basically, yeah, like if some of you basically just want like maybe half of the NPCs playable, like the major ones, or if you want all of them playable, like me. Um, I wouldn't know. I want to know though in the comments down below. I want to know. Um, but yeah, but everybody just have a wonderful day, night, morning. Don't really care for time zones, but I guess I'll say just have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you on the next one.